what a great day it was today. It was like 70 degrees. We were outside in the garden, running around, doing stuff, having a great time. We didn't get a chance to cook dinner, but so we're out at night and it's still beautiful, and I got the grill going, and I went to the store and I found some great fish and some cool chicken, and I marinated up the chicken with a bunch of herbs and spices, and the fish was beautiful just the way it is. I'm just gonna throw it on the grill and cook it whole and throw some salt and pepper and some lemon juice on it, and that's how I like it. And you'll see how we're gonna do that. Just check it out. For those of you who haven't seen this before, it's basically a fish grilling cage. You can get these at camping stores. You'll see them. You could find them online. It's just a cage for grilling whole fish. They're great for cooking on embers, on the campfire. It's so you can cook the fish whole and intact. If you can't find these and you don't have these, you could just put a piece of aluminum foil on the grill and cook the fish on that, and the fish won't fall apart. It'll be fine. I'm just gonna take the fish. I sprayed the cage with a little nonstick cooking spray on both sides, and I put the fish in. I season the fish with salt and pepper. I just throw it on the grill like that. The chicken, olive oil, salt, pepper, rosemary, thyme, paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, a little cumin. That's it. Just right on the grill. Always make sure your grill is clean. Always make sure your grill is oiled. I use a little bit of the non-stick cooking spray. Just right on the grill. I got whole chicken breasts, boneless, skinless, and I just cut them in half long ways so they're thinner and they cook faster. I have my chicken. It's cooked about 25% of the way. What I like to do is I just turn it a quarter turn. That way I get nice hatch marks on the chicken. It's starting to smell really good. What you want to do now is you want to just check your fish and see how it's going. It's starting to bubble a little bit. You look at it, you look at the skin. You want the skin to be bubbling nice and brown, nice golden brown and crispy before you turn it. Starts to bubble, the fish will start to talk to you and tell you when it wants to be turned. You'll see. Well, I just checked this chicken. You see how it's got the nice X marks on it? So that one's ready to turn. This one too, this one's ready to turn. This one I'm checking, not quite yet, so I'm gonna wait a little bit. This one a little more here, a little more here, so we just wait on these. You can see that this part of the grill is hotter than this one. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna rotate it over. I'll switch sides. Okay, we'll check our fish. It's starting to get nice and golden brown. Still gonna wait a little bit. Well, the chicken's over here now. It's a little hotter on this side of the grill, so I'm gonna turn it again. These over here, these are ready. I'm gonna take them off. This chicken's ready. I pulled it off a little bit under. The reason being is that I like my chicken to be moist and juicy. I'm gonna let it sit like this for a little while. It's gonna carry over cook. That way, it will be still moist and not dry. The worst thing is when you pull the chicken off the grill and it's fully cooked, by the time you eat it, it's dry. It's just dead. We still have to wait for the fish to be done. What I'll do is I'll pull it off a little bit under. It's gonna carry over cook, and then I'll just heat it back up on the grill when I want it. It'll still be juicy and beautiful. Look, it's not dry, it's not dead, it's beautiful. Now we'll shut it again. Want to increase the temperature in there, get it nice and hot. We want a nice crispy skin fish. Now we have a nice crispy skin on top. We flip the fish over. We want the same thing on the other side. We want it to cook through. I'm gonna close it again. Increase the temperature inside, make that hot oven inside the grill. Time to check on that fish. Beautiful American red snapper. See this side? See how all the juices are coming out? You know it's getting close to being ready. See that nice golden brown crispy skin? Just a little bit more. About 3 more minutes on this side. And then I'm gonna flip it over, crisp the other side one more time. And then we're gonna check for doneness. I'm gonna show you a little trick I learned working at the Greek restaurants. I'm gonna check that fish now. It should be almost there. Looking beautiful. Look at that. Wow. Look at that, nice and crispy. Juices are flowing. Okay, so now, what I learned working at Greek restaurants. When you're working with these fish, you wanna leave them intact. You get them from the fish butcher. Tell them to leave everything on it. Just take the guts out, take the gills out, leave everything whole. You'll take off the side fins here and here. You want to leave everything else. What I'll do on either side of the dorsal fin and the bottom fin here is I'll make a little slit here on the top and a little slit here on the bottom on both sides. You see, if you oil the grill cage properly and it's seasoned properly, it opens right up. And the way to tell if the fish is cooked properly is you see this little fin down here? If it pulls out with no resistance and it comes out whole with this bone attached, the fish is perfectly cooked. I can leave the fish like this for a good 10 minutes before I serve it. It stays hot, it stays juicy. It's like cooking a steak on the bone. All the juices are there, all the flavors there. It's so much better to cook a fish whole on the bone than it is to cook a fillet. You get all the flavor, everything stays inside. It's the way fish is meant to be cooked. What I'll do now, I'll throw the chicken back on for a quick second just to get it hot. We're gonna go inside. I'm gonna show you how to break down the fish and plate it. And then it's dinner time. Took the fish off the grill. It's been resting for about 8-10 minutes. Still hot, warm, beautiful inside. You want it to rest a little bit. So now simply, just let it slide right out of the cage, just like that. Take the cage, just need to wipe it clean. You don't want to get it wet. You don't want hot soapy water. Just wipe it clean, it stays seasoned, it's beautiful. Now, to clean the fish, all you need is a fork and a knife. So, remember, we took this out. That's how you knew if it was cooked or not. So now, you're gonna put your hand on its head and put the knife right here where the head is attached to the body and just click it right up. It's gonna come off clean right there. And just leave it right there. Some people don't like the head. Get rid of it if you don't want it. But there's some great meat in the cheek area here. There's some great meat in the head. I like to leave it on the plate. This here, the top fins, if it's cooked properly, it comes right out. And you can see here, look how shiny that is. Look at that. You know the fish is cooked properly. It's still moist and juicy. If a fish is cooked on the bone, this is what happens if it's cooked properly. But you don't need that one. Now the tail. We're just gonna go under the tail. We're gonna release it from the bottom fillet. We're gonna slide the fish over a little bit to the right. Take these pieces off. And now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab the bones from underneath and I'm gonna lift and you'll see the fish is cooked. The bone's released from itself. Boom. Just like that. Isn't that cool? Take these little pieces of charred fish out. Now, break off the little piece of tail here. Leave that there for presentation purposes. Now here, you put the knife right under, and if it's cooked properly, and again, if you let it rest, it basically cleans itself. The bone comes right out. See, look at that, perfect. Now, you know, some people freak out about fish bones. You're gonna get about 95 to 98% of the bones out the way I show you how to clean the fish. There's gonna be a couple bones in here, but you know what? It's all part of eating a whole grilled fish. Now, you're gonna see, you just take this part and you scrape it. And you'll see that the bones are gonna start coming up. See? And the bones, if you push down, the bones will come up by themselves. See? They come right out. And just like on the other side, if you push down here, you'll see the bones will lift up. And then you'll just pull them. And they release right by them, they release by themselves. See? The idea is you want to keep the fish as intact as possible so it looks like you're eating a whole grilled fish, because that's what you're doing. And I'm doing this slower than usual because I want everyone to see. This is how the fish looks once you've taken 98% of the bones out, okay? You have the head, you have the tail, you have the collarbone. Then you just run your fingers along here to feel for any bones. You don't feel any, so you're okay. So you're fine. The fish is still warm. And now, before I serve the fish, what I'll do, I'll take my good olive oil from my friends at Sogno Toscano. Just a little drizzle. A little sea salt. A little bit of Sicilian oregano. Squeeze of fresh lemon juice. A couple more lemons for later. A little bit of fresh parsley for garnish. Check on my past videos. You'll see the salsa verde video, the recipe from Easter. I served it with the lamb. This goes great with whole grilled fish. I have a little bit of this. I'm gonna put it on the side. I like to spoon it over the fish, but this is pure simplicity, ingredient-driven dish. You wanna taste the fish and nothing else but the fish, but if you want a little bit of herbaceousness, a little herbal vinaigrette spooned over the top, it just takes it to a different level. Guys, enjoy. Here's your lesson on cooking a whole grilled fish and cleaning it. It's getting time for spring and summer barbecue. Now you know how to do it. Enjoy.